Well, good afternoon. It must be Thursday because here's Araya, Dragon Lady, coming on live in the For the Love of Dragons group. So good to have everybody here every week. I love coming on live with you guys and answering your questions. Sometimes we do mini live readings. And I can keep you up to date on all the happenings because we got a lot happening right now. So I'll share some of that as I'm waiting for folks to come on. And we're going to be talking about power today, power with the dragons, what that means, why you're afraid of it, what does it mean when we step into our own power, all those aspects. But first I want to remind you, we've got a couple things coming up. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Araya Anra, also known as the Dragon Lady. I am a psychic medium and energy healer. I am a life coach as well as that. I combine those with private readings and sessions. And then I use all of that in my classes and groups and book clubs and all the things that I do. The next thing up on the plate, we're full swing. We're almost done with the book club. We're in the middle of the Eye of the Dragon program. That's my 4-month immersion. We're going to be starting the second half of that in the fall and probably getting a new group together for that. If you're interested in a longer immersion, please let me know and I'll keep you on the list for the next Eye of the Dragon program. But we have some workshops finally coming up. I am getting out in the world to do workshops again to work with the dragons. It's called Walking with the Dragons. And it's going to be taught in French and English in all three of the next locations because I will be up in Montreal, Quebec, Canada region in Three Rivers over the 25th and 26th of May. It's Memorial Weekend here in the States, but if you live not far from Montreal on the eastern coast, I will be teaching in English with French translation. So English speakers and French speakers can come to that. And I am getting some registration started. It seems a couple months away, but things are starting to roll. So don't delay if you're wanting to do it, to make sure there's space. And the first 10 people registered at each of my locations for the workshops is going to get a special gift from me. So next up we have SAR, France, coming up 22nd and 23rd of June. SAR is near Biarritz, so it's on the northern shore coast. Could make for a great little holiday if you come do the workshop and then stay a few days. And it's not too far of a train ride. I mean, nothing's really far of a train ride in Europe. I love that about it. And I've been making my plans to be over there. Pretty excited to head over. I'm also going to be down in the Lyon region the 29th and 30th, so the following weekend, so that if you can't make it to SAR, maybe you can make it to Lyon, and that way we can catch everyone from Switzerland or the Netherlands or Italy, because I've got a lot of English speakers and French speakers over there, and so trying to be in a central location to accommodate everybody since I'm not over there that often, right? So take advantage while I'm there. Please come join us in one of the workshops. It's a pretty expansive 2 days energetically. If nothing else, you walk away with a whole bunch of energetic shift after having been in a room with dragons for 2 days. So that's a lot of fun. And then anybody that is interested in Tibet or been feeling Tibet calling them, I've got the Sacred Tibet with the Dragons trip that's going to be September 5th to the 18th, and that I am beyond excited for. That's part of a huge global activation. There are going to be lots of activations happening as well in Montreal. I'm going to be activating the heart of the female air dragon over in that region, hitting the different spots in that geometry while I'm there. And there's some larger grids happening as I come to Europe. It's another impetus of why I'm coming and doing workshops, is it's allowing me an opportunity to go to some very specific sites and unlock some of the dragon grids that are ready to be activated, and they are connected with the energies of last fall and activating the female black dragon under Africa, and connected with the Kailash trip this coming September. So everything's aligning and rolling forward. I think next year is going to bring about Uluru and Mount Fuji. So it's exciting to see it unveiling and unrolling. So if you want information about any of that stuff, please email me or message me and I will get you all the details you need. But let's go on to some more interesting things as far as topics with the dragons. If you guys have questions that you haven't had answered, feel free to put them in the comments now. I can answer some live. But we had an interesting discussion today, and it sort of brought it up to mind that we haven't talked about power in a long time with the whole group here. Here we go. We'd love to know more of the dragon grid areas in Montreal, your hometown. Yeah, the grids I don't actually reveal except for those that are working with me until they're done. There's some specifics about not necessarily secrecy or privacy, but those that are in my inner core program that are holding that energy and helping activate those are who are actually aware of the specific sites until the right date when I can reveal all of it. So knowing that will come at the right time there, Linda. Yeah, Willow caught me live. Very fun. So I want to go into power, and there's like a discussion of power with the dragons, and there's several different aspects with that. One of the things that people, when they start working with the dragons, they're pretty intimidated by the dragons, or they aren't sure if they want to step into that because, dragons can be intimidating. They can be very large. They do tend to present themselves in a way that might not be as intimidating or scary. They get very playful and want to interact and engage you in ways, and they sometimes, will pass through a name that's familiar or silly to lighten things up because they don't want you to be afraid. They carry this massive power, but if you tune into that, you'll see that it's a power that's coming and emanating straight through their hearts, that there's so much love connected with it that they couldn't possibly be a scary kind of power. And that's where power really gets us into fear. Why we're afraid of it is initially because power itself, either by us or by others around us, has been misused. And so when we approach a powerful being, we have part of ourselves that is wounded or in trauma from some kind of emotional scar at some point in one of our incarnations. And it puts us on the defensive. It puts us on guard when we feel a massive, powerful energy around us. And if you feel yourself going into fear about that rather than embrace of the love that's flowing through it, that's your awareness or trigger of, wow, I've got some fear issues to look at here and some power issues. Why am I afraid of this? How can I dive into what's really being triggered here? Am I not wanting to go in and see my own stuff around power, my own actions where I misused power? Or am I just so traumatized by an event that happened that I can't deal with power, that I want to hide and shirk, whether it's mine or someone else's coming at me? So that's the first thing, that if you're getting triggered by and intimidated by the size of a dragon or even the concept of a dragon, because some of the people in this group, this is totally new. You're feeling dragons in your field maybe, or someone that you went to a healer and they said, you've got a dragon in your field. What do you do with that information? And so you start searching and you find us or a group like this, and you come out and you're like, there's a dragon, but I don't really know what to do with that, and I'm not really sure I want to do anything with that because dragons are big and scary, right? So Linda's saying, I have several large dragon guides as well as my own dragon self, which my wings are huge. Yes, they bring a huge feeling of being hugged with warmth and security. I love that you're sharing that, Linda, because others that are listening might not necessarily be feeling that closeness and that security. And Willow says, according to the minute reading you gave me, my dragon is helping me to stand in my own power. Yes, which is fantastic. Absolutely. And they are here to do that. They are going to help you move into your power and remember it, because that's the entire journey of the dragon heart, actually, is to merge into that place where you are so connected with your dragon heart, your truest self aspect as a dragon, if you be dragon. And you'll know that as you continue your work with the dragons and get sort of advanced along the path of opening into what's possible. And wow, not only do I feel dragons around me, but I feel like my face is shifting into a dragon, or I feel like I have wings, or, all these crazy experiences that there's lots of questions and answers in all the video archives in the group here. So please check those, or in the YouTube channel. And as you dive in and you keep it getting exposed to larger parts of yourself, all of a sudden this dawning might come on that, ooh, maybe I am a dragon. And what does that mean? And what kind of power would that bring me into? And we're usually afraid, as I said, because we've misused it somewhere. And part of the journey into the dragon heart, as I was speaking about, is coming into your own of bringing your full connection, not only realizing that you're a dragon, but then helping you align with that energy and connect to your true self, where you actually can bring that energy, merge it in, so that your human heart and your dragon heart are fully merged. And the dragon heart lives fully aligned with the wisdom center and the power centers, fully aligned through the heart, expanding out from here, living transparently, fully powerful, fully cognizant and conscious with all the wisdom of all the incarnations that you've experienced. And I tell you what, if you're a dragon, you've been around quite a long time. Many of you might resonate with that idea of being an old soul or having been around so much. And Chris is saying, yes, true, such a beautiful experience to go through. Yes, Chris was one of my first core Dragonheart group, and he's one of those that's on that inner circle of where the activations are happening and is living that. And he got to go through that experience of getting to the place where you not only recognize, because even in the beginning, I hope you don't mind me sharing this, Chris, but he wanted to access his clairvoyance skills. They'd all been lost. He was being told he had dragons around him, but didn't know. And over the 9 months, got to the place of not only recognizing that he is a dragon, but merging fully into it and all of the gifts that brings. So he is actually one that's now doing it. And I'd love to feature you, Chris, on one of my lives one of these days, because he's now fully aligned with his dragon, which woke up his purpose, his gifts. He's an incredible clairvoyant. He's an incredible reader, and he does, yeah, you didn't even believe it. He does Akashic readings. He's specifically connected to the dragons in the Pleiades that are connected to the Akashic records. And so he does amazing Akashic readings. I had one from him when the program ended, and I tell you what, it's powerful. So I'm just going to feed onto that. If you see Chris Dietrich's comment in the comments here, I want you to send him a message if you're interested in a really powerful Akashic reading. I will fully support him, and I do want to get you on this, Chris, and try and promote you as best as possible and share what you do and talk about the Dragonheart program and how you benefited from it and what it opened up for you, because I think that would be powerful for a lot of people to witness and see. And hello, Jim Murdoch. I haven't seen you before, so welcome on to the live. So other aspects of power, when you move into that journey, and there was a question before about how do you align with your Dragonheart, and that's really the process. It was a 9-month process. It's a slow moving through all the densities and blockages that you have within yourself by working with all the lower level dragons, the elementals. So you're doing some of that work in the book, but by doing it in the group and doing it in a guided way, we go back through and set the foundation to make sure that there's nothing being left out, that there's nothing still within you, that we do full clearance all the way through. And it's a slow, gentle alignment forward so that all those pieces fall away. You get to not only be introduced and initiated into all of those dragon families and lineages, so that you can call them in at will, that you're working with them regularly and they are there for you and supporting you. And then you move through into the highest levels where we start accessing your highest self as dragon and bring it down in activating the dragon chakras that are part of that. That's all through the Pleiades, and that's the work with the Pleiadian dragons that revealed in the second half of the program. I knew it was coming. I didn't know how it would come out, but they are finally ready to work with humanity, and they hold the final keys to really activating that and living it and bringing it through what I consider the timepiece mechanisms of this universe that are held in the Pleiades. So in the book, you've got through Orion and Sirius. The Pleiades are part of the program, and that's really how you align with it. You just keep working towards clearing out, using the dragons and what the gifts they bring to empty out your vessel of all the traumas and wounds and blocks and fears and resistances, whatever is holding you back. And as you do that process, things within you will slowly open. So, like Chris's clairvoyant gifts, having everything open up because the blockages go out, the memories come in of why you shut down your gifts, why you're hiding from them, what is in between you and them. And as we work one-on-one, because all of my programs include one-on-one sessions, we can see and feel and move those, and they all start to open up again because you are moving up in frequency and accessing those. So that's part of the journey. Caitlin's saying a few months back we found you, and even though I had been interacting with dragons for years, this is a long message, I gotta get all of it here. Oh my goodness. For years, my mom hadn't felt hers yet properly, but she followed a lot of your teachings, and just a little while ago I was scared of connecting to my dragon self, and I kept feeling it, but I couldn't accept it properly because I was so scared of that. My mom got a message from Metatron, my go-to guy, I love him, in a dragon meditation, and she has helped me to let go of that fear, and I'm slowly reveling more and more in my dragon and the power it brings and the balance that has just solidified in my life since. That is so awesome. Thank you for sharing that, because that is the power of the journey, Caitlin. This is where There's something within us that doesn't trust it, that's afraid of it. When you feel resistance come up, resistance is just a level of fear. And resistance is everything in your body telling you, you know what? That's probably the way you need to go. So just saying, if you have resistance coming up, dive in, whether it's to spending money, changing jobs, buying a house, doing a program. If you're feeling resistance, really look at that, see what you're truly, truly afraid of, and then dive into it head first, because there's, even if it comes out what you might consider a negative way, there's a soul lesson that your soul is trying to push you into that. But you're backing off from it, because what is on the other side of that gift, what's on the other side of what you dive into is going to be such a gift and shift for you that's why you're terrified of it. Because we're terrified of change. Our resistance comes up when we know, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get awakened to my dragon, or I'm going to like move into real joy and happiness. Then what would I have to complain about? Or, all those silly things that our little human self is afraid of going into. So encouraging you guys to just embrace the power that comes from the dragons, both from them, but also from within you as you start working with them, because it is going to shift and change you. And it's not changing you into something new or different. It's changing you back into who you came in as and what got lost along the way, and bringing more and more aspects of your true self from your light body self down into this experience. That's why I'm here. That's what I am. I'm a guide to do that with the dragons. Maybe your home realm isn't dragons. I have a feeling it is, because you're already here in the group and watching. But wherever your home realm be, there are guides out there, and I work with people that aren't necessarily connected to dragons, because I'm a psychic. I'm a medium and an energy healer and a life coach, so I help people move forward in that. So if I can help you, if you want to see if we're a good fit together, I do 20-minute discovery calls to talk about the options for you, to talk about if we're a good fit, if you feel energetically connected to me and I to you, and I can move things forward for you. And then we can talk about programs or individual sessions that might help. So please message me if I can help you in that way, because that's my joy. That's what I'm here for. And I'm so excited in my life to be living a magical life where I am on my purpose. And I want to help other people get there. I did a video a year or so ago on my big why. And my big why was for every single person on this planet to have that moment of connection to Mother, Father, God, and the most beautiful, incredible, divine light that just wakes up something in your heart and puts you in that jaw-dropping awe of what's beyond us in the elements of creation. And the dragons are that line. They're like the closest thing that I've been able to come next to actually experiencing Mother, Father, God directly. And they have so much to bring us, and there's so much power in that. So I hope you will continue to dive in and ask questions, because that's what I'm here for. I come on live every week to answer your questions, because I want to support your journey. I want you to keep going further. That's why I'm pushing myself to do 3 workshops and all these trips and all these programs this year, even though it's going to overload me. But it's part of my joy as well. And the more people that I can touch personally, energetically, and move them forward, that's why I'm here. And we've got not a limited time, but there is a time frame, it feels like, of an opportunity to use this energy that's available on the planet right now to really fly and take our wings. Let's get you back into your dragon wings. Let's get you flying. So have a wonderful afternoon. I'm so excited that next Thursday will be the first day of spring. We're so ready all across the United States. At least I know there's been a tough winter for a lot of people, including us here in Reno. And I am ready for spring. So I will see you next week on the first day of spring. Have a fabulous day, and we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.